And hello once more, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to episode 74 of A Druids Dozen. This is the episode I should have recorded last week, but owing to domestic situations, I ended up reviewing a guitar instead. But anyway, we're back to albums and CDs this week. Yep, 12 items plucked from my record collection and waved in front of the camera and described for your edification. Yeah, my name's John, by the way. I am the rock druid, or so I'm called in certain circles. And yeah, basically I'm a radio DJ. Couple of radio shows, BCFM's Sunday Rock Show, 93.2 FM every Sunday, 10 p.m. And then there's the Astro Radio's Rock Druid Show. Details are going to be in the descriptions. So without further ado, shall we have a look at today's selection? Okay, starting off as vinyl as always, we'll have a bit of Cheap Trick. Yep, this is Cheap Trick's debut album from 1977. It's eponymous. And there's the front. There's the back. No inner sleeve or info sheet with this, just the plain sleeve. There we go, Epic Records. And no run out groove message, just a catalogue number. Now, Cheap Trick, in case you don't know, band I've always loved, and a kind of classic US pop rock band from the at their height in the late 1970s through to the very early 1980s. Lost track of things throughout the late 80s into the 90s. Still going strong and are now back on form. But this is their debut album, and it's a little bit different from some of their later stuff. The stuff they're best known for, albums like Black and Blue and Dream Police and those kind of things. Very slick, very commercial, heavy pop rock. This, however, although it contains the seeds of what Cheap Trick will develop into, it is a bit of a different sounding album to anything else they've done. This album's got a distinctly punk edge to it. Not for a minute saying that Cheap Trick were a punk band, but this has got a kind of grit that was polished out of a lot of their later albums. Cuts like He's a Whore, Hello Kiddies, The Ballad of TV Violence, Daddy Should Have Stayed in High School, Mr. Taxman, Mr. Thief. They got a kind of sort of like a bit of a grind and a guts to them. They still got all the hallmarks of what made Cheap Trick a great band: tongue-in-cheek, lightweight lyrics, some diamond playing from the various guys, especially from Rick Nelson, the guitarist. But overall, it's a bit of a kind of almost unique amongst Cheap Trick's releases. I do like it. Not my favourite Cheap Trick album. That will probably be Dream Police, but it's still a damn fine album. And if you tune into the BCFM Sunday Rock Show this week, as of tomorrow, on time of this video's release, I'll be opening the show with a couple of tracks off this. So if you want to hear what it sounds like, tune into that. And say that because of algorithm purposes, I can't really do needle drops or play snippets. Even if I do declare it for review purposes, I get copyright struck. So don't want to risk it. So yeah, but like I said, I am trying to play tracks for most of these albums on my two radio shows, and if not, give them a Google. There's normally snippets or bits online. Yeah, anyway, damn good album, an interesting one from Cheap Trick. That's their debut album from 1977. Okay, next up we'll have a bit of this. This is Zombie Met Girl and It Came From The Moon. There's the front. There's the back. And when did this come out? 2007, that's about right, yeah. Pop this open. No, it is a like that booklet. There, our Zombie Met Girl. That's the booklet itself. Get a better look at the artwork, which I do love on this. And there's the disc, which somehow reminds me of the TV Tan EP cover, but from the Wild Hearts. But anyway, there's the disc there. Now, Zombie Met Girl. I think they were out of Reading, or that part of the world anyway. Mate, you know, I can't remember. It's been a long time. But in the my early days with Alien Station, they were one of these bands that we kept encountering on the live circuit. We played with them in Bristol. I think it was Swindon. I think we ended up playing with them as well. Just happened to be turned up on the same bill, and we met them at a couple of festivals, including Guildfest as well. Our paths crossed. A lovely bunch of lads and a great band. They got a kind of so Wild Heartsy vibe to them. They're kind of horror rock, horror punk. They're heavy, you know, but shades are kind of, I say shades of rockabilly, but they got a very rock and roll vibe to them without being full on rock and roll. And they were just pretty damn good as a live band. As far as I'm aware, this is the only thing they ever released. I may be wrong. But this is a damn fine record. One of these ones, not a weak track on it, and a bit of a rare gem if you ask me. From the opening cut, Basement New Party, Psychosis, then through tracks like Chelsea Girl, California Drunk, Hotel Hippie and Hangout, Emu Park, Sayonara Japan, right through to Disco Truck, the absolute storming closer. It's loud, it's raucous, it's in your face, and just very, very good. You got Fraser Horton, an amazing guitarist, Nicky Danger, cracking vocalist, rhythm section of Tim Cross, Steve Ford. Makes for a damn fine unit. Whatever happened to them, I don't know. This CD, so as far as I'm aware, is the only thing they ever released. I don't know whether it's still available, either physical or digital. You may need to give it a Google. But please do, if you get a chance, check these guys out. And, you know, they're great. I mean, I haven't played the CD for a couple of years until I spun it, preparing for today. And it's back on my personal playlist because it's damn fine. Yeah, 2007, It Came From The Moon by Zombie Met Girl. Sorry, got a bit of a tickly cough. It's that time of the year, winter's coming, etc. Here we go. This is the next one. This is Gillan and Glory Road, 1980. I think this is the third album that Gillan brought out as Gillan, as opposed to the Ian Gillan band. And there's the front. There's the back. And this is, as you can see there, This is the limited first press that contains a free album for Gillan fans only. So I'll whip these out. Here's the inner sleeve for Youre Road. Lyrics and credits on there. And there we go, Virgin Records. This has got a run out groove message, but I can't read it. And then the bonus disc. There's the front. There's the back. Again, Virgin Records. And again, there is a run out groove message on here, but no, I said I'll get a magnifying glass next time I do this. Maybe I'll do a special for over Christmas of run out groove messages. I know where quite a few of them are. But anyway, I'll deal with the main record first. Youre Road, that one. Then come back. Now, Youre Road is Gillan's, I think it's third album as Gillan. Maybe the second, I can't remember. But anyway, it's Gillan as opposed to the Ian Gillan band. Features a classic lineup of the Ian Gillan, Big John on vocals, Big John McCoy on bass, Bernie Tormey on guitar, Colin Towns on keyboards, Mick Underwood on drums. And it's a damn fine record. I mean, all the Gillan stuff is pretty good. Yeah, it's Gillan kind of his full-on over British heavy metal kind of vibe. And this one, you got the opening cut for a start, Unchain Your Brain, just kind of brain melts you. Other highlights on here: Sleeping on the Job, Running Whiteface City Boy, No Easy Way, Time and Again, Nervous, If You Believe Me, all fine tunes. You know, Bernie Tormey does some of his best ever guitar work on here. There's some of Colin Towns' keyboards work is absolutely storming. Ian Gillan's voice is just earth-shattering. You know, the rhythm section's rock solid, nothing to fault at all. Absolute genius, and for all fans of hard rock, metal, and people just like Deep Purple, full stop, should be added to your collection. The bonus album is basically, it's partly what these days would be called an outtakes record. There's cuts on here that didn't quite make the main album. There's a couple of B-sides. There's a Reg Watch, which is originally a Colin Towns solo cut. That's Mick Underwood solo cut, and been given a rework in here by Gillan. There's some guest appearances by various members of Samson and various other people. Just makes for a great record. It's an interesting one. It's a bit patchy because obviously it's a rare. It is an outtakes collection, but the sort of thing that these days gets banged on the end of a release or on a bonus disc. Well, it is a bonus disc, I suppose. But anyway, basically, interesting stuff, rarities. I'm not sure whether they have actually got around to releasing it fully. I know it's turned up on CD issues as bonus cuts on the CD issues of Glory Road, but I think it's never actually been released in its entirety. There's always been edits and cuts made into the running order. But anyway, just makes for an extra bonus. Doesn't make this particularly rare with a bonus disc, but it does make for an interesting listen. Yeah, the Ian Gillan's Glory Road 1980, damn fine record in its own right, and for Gillan fans only, also pretty damn sweet. Worth looking out for. Okay, next up, something a bit different. This is the Annie EP by a lady called Sophie Morgan. Now, I can't remember exactly where she's from. I did look her up before I started recording, but it's just slipped straight out of my brain. But basically, Sophie Morgan is a UK-based singer-songwriter lady, quite folky, quite hippie, very much in the kind of Florence and the Machine kind of vein, or maybe Noah and the Way or whatever it is. I can't remember. I'm not into that kind of music overall. Just that sometimes someone comes along and you think, oh yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, I did get this as a promo copy, but it's one that I enjoyed and still do quite like it. Anyway, there's the front. There's the back. Gate folds open like this. There's the disc. Now, this it's only a 4-track EP, and 3 of the tracks, Hey Annie, The Sorry Song, Hymn for the Morning, are penned by Sophie Morgan herself, and they're very, very sweet, very, very sort of chilled out, relaxing kind of typical female folky singer-songwriter stuff. And then the killer cut is the 3rd cut, which is a cover of the Waterboys classic Hole of the Moon, and she does a storming version of it. She's got a kind of basic folk band behind her, string quartet as well, making for a great listen. I don't know anything else this woman's done, but I do know that this is a good little EP if you're into your kind of chilled out folky singer-songwriting type material, and if you're into people like Tanika Ticker and etc., which I quite am actually. I do like a bit of Tanika. This is cute. Yeah, cute is a good word for it. Yeah, came out in 2017, Sophie Morgan, Annie EP. Cool. Okay, next up, we're going to go to Canada for this one. Here we go, Kim Mitchell, Akimbo Alogo. There's the front. There's the back. This is 1985, I believe this came out. 84, sorry. There's the back. Pull this out. Oh, it's well. This is the original in the sleeve. Got a bit dog-eared, so I've kind of replaced it with her standing asleep in a minute. But anyway, there's lyrics and credits on there. There's the disc, Alert Records, which is a label I'm not that familiar with. And no, only a catalogue number on the run out grooves of this. Now, Kim Mitchell used to be a Canadian sort of like singer, guitarist bloke. Used to be frontman for a Canadian band called Max Webster, who well, fairly popular in Canada and kind of culty underground band in the US, pretty unknown over in Europe. But Max Webster fell apart. Must have been about 82. I've got one Max Webster album around somewhere. But Max Webster fell apart around about 1982, and Kim Mitchell decided to go solo. And there was an EP came out before this, then he released this album. This, if you're going, what the hell is that? Is the European cover. American and Canadian albums had a slightly different cover, or completely different cover on it. But this is the European pressing. And yeah. Now, this album is noteworthy. It's pretty good overall. But there's one track on here that makes this absolutely classic. That's the opening cut, Go for Soda. A superb little kind of quite quirky kind of pop rock track, heavy pop rock track. But it was a massive hit in Canada, a minor hit in the States, and in Europe, and I won't say about Europe, but in Britain, well, it never charted. It did pick up a lot of radio airplay, and I used to go to a rock club called the Granary in Bristol back in the day, and it was a dance floor filler in the rock clubs. Why it didn't translate to the chart success, I don't know, because it was on the radio. There was a BBC program called Power Play. Used to play the video a lot, but cracking track, and it by far the best track on the album. The album's that bad. There's cuts on it like other highlights include Diary for Rock and Roll Men, Lager and Ale, Caroline Called It Off. They're all pretty sweet tracks. Not particularly sort of like loud, nasty or in your face, but it's kind of got a kind of pop rock sensibility that makes it kind of very listenable. Although, you know, it is all overshadowed by Go for Soda. By far the best track on the album. But, you know, I haven't really heard any other Kim Mitchell stuff. Like I said, he's not all that well known over this side of the pond. Maybe I should track some down. Yeah, something for you to do in the comments if you like. Could you recommend any more Kim Mitchell albums for me? I know he's released a few, so where should I go? What one should I download or try and purchase? But anyway, I do recommend this album, 1984, Kim Mitchell, Akimbo, Alogo. Good stuff. Next CD. This is Tree by Wim Oudijk. There is the front, and it's something quite seasonal, I think. There is the back. Oops, slide this out. Broken jewel case. I hate jewel cases. Anyway, there's the back of the booklet with a little montage of pictures of Vim himself there. There's lyrics More lyrics. More lyrics. There's the disc. That's what's behind the disc there. Now, Wim Oudijk was a Dutch guy. Sadly passed away a couple of years ago. And primarily known for as a artist, did album cover designs. Worked with people like Todd Dillingham, Knoiw Spire. He did work for, and a few other bands. But he was also a bit of a producer and a bit of a kind of musician in his own right. He produced and he produced a couple of albums for the late great Todd Dillingham, and a few solo releases. This is the only one I possess, and this is so Tree is a concept work. It's in about 14 parts, and it's based on the old European folk tale of a tree that's you know, it goes through the thought process of a tree from being a sapling, growing up, surviving storms, etc., and eventually being cut down, decorated as a Christmas tree, and then burnt on a bonfire. And then kind of its corn, pine cones go on to the next generation, kind of thing, circle of life kind of thing, and it's pretty good. It's quite sweet, it's quite folky, but it's quite progressive as well. And yeah, and it's very seasonal for Christmas. The reason I dragged this out is we've got a couple of Christmas shows coming up end of the month, so I thought, right, time to drag out some Vim. And yeah, as to the availability of this, I don't know. As I say, sadly, Wim Oudijk went to illustrate posters for the Great Gig in the Sky a while back, and I've not really seen anything buying online or, you know, since. So yeah, it may take some digging, but if you can get your hands on a copy, especially with Christmas coming up, it's a good listen. Yeah, Tree by Wim Oudijk, and this came out in, I think it was 2012. I may be wrong. Yeah, 2011. It was somewhere like around there. 2011. Cool. Another CD now. And a bit of blues for ya. There's the front. This is J.W. Jones and High Temperature. There's the front. There's the back. Nothing else to see. There's no press release or anything in this. Just slide this out and just, there's the disc. Oh, look at the shiny patterns. Whoa, stare at the shiny patterns, people. Like and subscribe, you know you want to. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, J.W. Jones, American blues guitarist, and I've got to admit, I don't know a vast amount about him. This is the only thing I possess by the guy, but I do know this is a pretty sweet little album. It's let's have a look. It's just 13 tracks. This came out in 2016. 13 original tracks, and just some sweet kind of contemporary blueser. If you're into people like Joe Bonamassa, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, this will be right up your alley. It's damn fine release. I do love this album. Tracks like Murder in My Heart for the Judge, Who Am I, Leaving Out, Midnight Blues, Out in the Woods, Where Do You Think I Was, Wham, The Price You Pay, How Many Hearts. Every track's a nice sweet little bit of rock and kind of, no, it's actually heavy, but it's kind of sweet, kind of contemporary blues. The guitar on here is first rate. I can't tell you who else is on the album because, like I said, it's just a minimalist promo sleeve with no info on it. But I think this may have actually originally come with a press release that I can't seem to find it. But anyway, all I can say is that J.W. Jones is a damn fine guitarist. I can't see what else he's released, but I do know that this one here, High Temperature, is worth checking out if you like your blues. So yeah, High Temperature, J.W. Jones, 2016. Cool stuff. Okay, next up, another bit of vinyl. Not sure whether I've looked at this one before or not, but on this series. But if not, sod it. It's a good little album. It's always worth another look. There's the front. This is High Priest of Love by Zodiac Mine, Warp and the Love Reaction. There's the back. Whip this out. Yeah, that's basically it's a stream of consciousness lyric sheet. Very hard to read. Nothing on the other side of that, by the way. And there's the disc. So it's a 6-track mini album stroke EP. Nothing on the Run Out Cruise. And pretty damn good. I've got to admit, I've got a lot of time for Zodiac Mine Warp. If you don't know, they're a London-based kind of sleaze rock band, bit grungy, and came out in the late 1980s. This particular album is 1986. Probably best known for an album they brought out called Tattoo Beat Messiah. Came out in about a year or so after this. Spawned a massive hit called Prime Mover. Their only real big UK breakthrough, but band that was still going on and off in various guises up until fairly recently. I didn't say that because I'm not sure whether they're actually together or not again. They tend to form, split, reform, split, etc. But anyway, this is one of their early releases, and it's pretty damn good. What's the track? Let's have a look. The title cut, High Priest of Love, is pretty sweet. Hymn of the Speed King, High Hill Heaven, Wild Child, Dangerous, Kickstart Me for Love, all pretty sweet tracks. Kickstart Me for Love probably being Shading's my favourite. It's grungy, it's a bit sleazy to listen to, but it's damn fine. And yeah, if you've not come across Zodiac Mine Warp, please do check them out. Yeah, there's what is it? Cobalt Stargazer, the guitarist, Kid Chaos on drums, on bass, Sonic Rumble Heim on drums. That's the kind of thing they were coming from. Very, very kind of tongue-in-cheek, over-the-top cartoon rock. Oh, they were just great at it. Yeah, Zodiac Mine Warp, High Priest of Love, 1986. Absolutely storming little record. Next up, we got a bit of new wave of British heavy metal. This is Tokyo Rose's debut album, and this came out 2006, something like that. doesn't actually say when this was released, but I know this was in the early 2000s or mid 2000s. Although as a band, Tokyo Rose have been going for, oh God, since about 1980. Now there's the front, there's the back. So I meant to show you this. There's the disc. Nothing on the inlay card. There's basically the track listing. Now, Tokyo Rose, I think they were London, I'm not sure. Played, but they were quite I don't say popular, but they were very busy on the gigging circuit throughout the early 1980s, you know, British heavy metal era. And I can't remember whether they split or reformed or just never went away. But eventually this album came out, which was recorded over many years, consisting of sort of like odd singles, like Tokyo Rose, their theme tune, was a single they brought out in about 1981. And overall, it's okay. This isn't an earth-shattering album. It's a bit patchy, but you know, like I said, it does sound like a load of collected demos and early cuts, and yeah, it's got a few good lights on. Tokyo Rose is pretty good. Other cars on here: Devil's Run, Check It Out, Go for Gold, Bike Ride. So about motorbiking, Party. They're okay. It can be very clunky in places, but there again, if you're buying this kind of record, you're probably not buying it for the quality of the music. You're buying it to sort of support the old new over British heavy metal, and remember one of the more obscure bands off that circuit. Would I recommend it? For collectors, yes. For general kind of music fans, maybe not. But you know, on the other hand, always try before you buy. You may get a surprise. Yeah, Tokyo Rose and Tokyo Rose from some point in the mid 2000s. Okay, next up we'll have a bit of a classic album. This is Dire Straits' eponymous debut from 1978. Yes, 1978. There is the front. There is the back. There's the lyrics. There we are, Vertigo Dean. Our Vertigo Dean label. Nothing on the play out groove. Now, Dire Straits, if you don't know, they were a band out of the northeast of England, famously featuring the Mark Knopfler on the guitar and vocals. This album's also, I think, I'm not sure he played the second one, but this album features his kid brother David on guitar as well. John Ilsley and Pick Withers on the rhythm section, kind of playing bluesy soft rock, best way of describing it, and they are very good at it. This album contains the massive song Sultans of Swing, a bit of a classic, and sadly it's a song that's murdered by every bloody covers band in the world. I've heard loads of people play it, and the only band I've actually enjoyed hearing play it was Dire Straits. Other cuts on here: Six Blade Knife, Southbound Again, Down to the Waterline, In the Gallery, Wild West End. All really sweet things, and I'll make no bones about it. Especially some of their earlier stuff through their first about 3 or 4 albums, I do love Dire Straits, always have done. I did find Brothers in Arms a bit commercial, and Don't Start Me Up About on Every Street, because that album is a pile of pants. But yeah, this is sweet. There's yeah, Mark Knopfler's guitar playing is very emotive. There's, you know, I say about while my I think George Harrison wrote, while my guitar gently weeps. Yeah, Mark Knopfler can make his guitar cry. Actually, it mentions it in the lyrics of Salt and Sweet. He can make you cry and sing, or Knopfler could. Yeah, my favourite Dire Straits album, I don't know. I'm still really attached to making movies, but this is pretty sweet as well. And yeah, if you've not really heard much Dire Straits as opposed other than the big hits, check the albums out. And this is a good place to start as any. You know, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Yeah, Dire Straits, 1978, eponymous debut. Okay, last episode I had an album by this guy, and while I was putting it away, I suddenly realised I had another album by this guy. So I thought, yeah, why not? Joe Satriani. This is Engines of Creation from year 2000. There's the front. There is the back. Pop this open. There's behind the disc. There is the disc. There's the full fold out credits, etc. And on the other side. Right, this is an interesting one for Mr. Satriani. It's an album where he's it's lots of shred and whittle kind of Guitar Hero stuff, but he's not working with a full band. He's working with, I can't remember, I did just notice names late, but I just put it away, but a guy that's primarily a keyboard player and drum programmer. Gives it a kind of electronic vibe, almost kind of like Satriani Goes Industrial. Whether I like it or not, I'm not sure. I'm always turned off by pure guitar instrumental albums anyway. They do, unless it's done very, very, very well, they do tend to bore me. And I'm not saying that Satriani isn't a fine player. It's just that I do tend to find his stuff, you know, well, this album's a good example. I gave this a listen the other day. By the time I got 4 tracks in, I couldn't tell you what track I was on because it was like began to blur into one. There's some good points on here. Ball Sex is a good little sequence. Slow and Easy in the title track's Engines of Creation, and you know, it's not without merit all the way through. It's just I found it a tad tedious. So not much else to say on this really. I do like the artwork though. That's quite cool, and you know, real fans of guitar whittling masturbation may get a lot out of this, but to me, I found it a bit yeah. So that's it. Joe Satriani, Engines of Creation from 2000. Okay, if you like that kind of thing. Winds up with this. Another album that brings me pain when I look at it. There's the front. There's the back. Whip this out. There's the album cover. There's the there's the credits, etc. There's the lyrics. This is RAF Speedwagon's Life as We Know It from 1987. There's the disc, Epic Records, as you can see. Just the catalogue number on the inner sleeve. Now, there's an interesting thing on here that says, I'll show you. REO Speedwagon is still Neil Doherty, Alan Grazia, Gary Richard, Kevin Cronin, Bruce Hall. May have been true when the album came out, but by the time the tour came around, Gary Richard had buggered off, and I don't blame him. Now, I love REO Speedwagon, or rather, I loved REO Speedwagon. I mentioned this when I've been talking about a lot of their other albums over the course of this series of shows. When other bands from the US were biting the MTV bullet, and Heart were turning from being a pretty good Led Zeppelin-esque folk rock band into a MTV power ballad magnet, or Foreigner were losing their rock edge, and that you could always rely on REO Speedwagon to get you through, because REO Speedwagon, yes, they could turn out the power ballads, but yes, they always maintained a little bit of a rock and roll kind of guts to them. However, after the Wheels of Turning album, which I talked about a couple of episodes ago, this came out a couple of years later, and boy, was I disappointed, because the last holdout of decent American rock, mainstream rock, had bitten the MTV bullet and produced an album of sappy, throwaway, radio-friendly songs and shitty power ballads. Even Speedwagon gone that way. But apparently, reading back at it, there was a lot of ructions in the band between Gary Richard and Kevin Cronin at the time, led to, not long after the release of this album, Richard walking, and because apparently he was far unsatisfied with the lightweight nature of this album. Not that I blame him. If I was him, I would have walked as well, and I'd have even done an Adam Smithy on me credits, because I not that it's badly played. I gave this album a listen the other day, but it's just forgettable. REO Speedwagon needs to have a habit of turning out songs that were memorable. Just listen to songs like Good Trouble, or even their power ballads like I Can't Fight This Feeling. Powerful, memorable songs. But then with this one, it's just forgettable. One Too Many Girlfriends may be the only standing out track on here. The rest of it, I can, Can't Get You Out of My Heart, Over the Edge, Accidents Can Happen, New Way of Love, That Ain't Love, Variety Tonight, they just kind of whimper out, ask you to listen to them. When you say no, you're not interested, scuttle away and don't try and make any impact on you whatsoever. Yeah, a very, very disappointing album, and the last REO Speedwagon album I brought. Got a couple of more recent ones on download that are kind of maybe stepping back in the right direction, but they have never reproduced that classic mid-late 70s period stuff, with albums like Tuna Fish and Nine Lives, etc. Shame, but it proves that even the best bands in the world can die. REO Speedwagon, Life as We Know It, from 1987. Not recommended at all. So that's it for this week. Hope you enjoyed. I'll be back next week. I've got another couple to do, and then I'm going to have a pause and do something a bit different over Christmas, because I'm going to be running backwards and forwards between Bristol and Torquay and that over the next few weeks. So I'll try and get something done. There will be a video, even if it's only another guitar review. But anyway, let me know what you think about these albums. Am I wrong about Life as We Know It? Is it REO Speedwagon's greatest album? What Kim Mitchell should I look out for? Or any particular Max Webster album that is worth listening to? Yeah, your reminiscences of Zodiac Mine Warp? Or what's your favourite Cheap Trick album? Comments down there on Facebook. Also on YouTube, over there on Facebook. Like and subscribe as well. It all helps boost the algorithm. And like I said, I'm not doing this to make money. I'm just doing this to kind of share my love of music and talk music to interesting people, which I'm sure you are. So until then, I'll be back next week. So until then, people, loves you all, and I'm out of here. Bye.